Hello and welcome to episode 36 of our Timberborn Update 7 Folktails Hard Mode playthrough here in Cycle 47, Day 4. Last time, we talked a little bit about what we want to do with this abomination disaster masterpiece over here of a castle corner, and talked a little bit about power hiding and windmills and all sorts of fun stuff. So I've got some ideas, and you guys do as well. Oh, it looks like they built these. Those weren't supposed to get built. Oh well, life goes on. But first off, I wanted to address something I did last episode that a bunch of you called me out on, and that is, apparently, I managed to delete a Badwater tank. I could not tell you where that is, but somewhere in here I deleted a Badwater tank, and I guess I have to look for rubble, debris, or what have you at some point. If I come across it, then I'll rebuild it, but honestly, I do not have any clue whatsoever where that might have been. So, enjoy thinking about that one for the next hour. I'm sure someone's going to comment about that, but regardless, we got tons of stuff to do today. We're going to see what else is happening that might have caused some other issues you guys have pointed out. And we're going to hopefully be able to start the process of dealing with our power demands and bringing power up here, or possibly moving the metal production back over to this area. But I think I'd like to keep it over here. Someone left a comment about the buildings lacking materials, and I hadn't checked on them. So let's click and see what this is. It's the mine, and it's the treated planks. So that makes perfect sense. We did turn off these wood workshops because we had a lack of materials and we had a lack of workers. So turning those back on probably is going to help, solve that problem. And it's, yeah, it's scrap metal because the mine wasn't turned on. So that explains that. We already knew about this stranded bot right here. May or may not get rescued today. We'll see. And that's also the bot that's out of fuel. So, besides that, we've actually got a pretty impressive amount of water stored here in our reservoir, and I've got a little bit more space to get filled up. I think we're probably going to be okay this time around, but it is definitely time to start thinking about either expanding this reservoir height-wise or width-wise, expanding underneath here, or as some of you have requested, exploring a little bit more inside the walls for water retention. We've got a lot of options. Lots of different stuff we can think about. And we also talked a little bit about exploiting this for water storage and diverting part of these two water sources. But we'll get to that in due time. For now, I'd like to talk about what we're going to do with our power and getting everything taken care of in here. Because, like you guys said, there's a lot of different things we could be doing. And while I did see a lot of good comments advocating for either or in terms of the windmills go on top, the windmills go underneath, the gravity batteries go on top, underneath, whatever, so on and so forth. And I think I would personally prefer the gravity batteries to be hidden, but I'm open to trying a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, and I think it's going to make the most sense for us to try on this end of the map here to get those nice and buried in a way where we don't have to look at them and see what we can do there. So, like we said last episode, come back here and take a look at this. The total height required to bury these is 4 at a very minimum, plus whatever we want underneath. And then this obviously would be, in this case, if we were building these under this area, it would be not this area at height 16. It would be below that. We're at height 12. We have, nope, that's 11. Come on. Height 12 is where the bottom of our infrastructure is for this zipline pylon. So 12 would be the top, which would mean we'd have to go down to here. So that's still, I mean, it's not a ton of height, and some of you cited that directly in your comments as reasons why I should not do that. However, if we have a lot of these gravity batteries, it's really not going to matter how tall they are anyway, because we're not really going to be able to use all of that power if we build enough of them. Plus, we have windmills too, so I really don't think it's that big of an issue. So what I am going to do, since, the bots don't care about getting nasty here, I'm going to start blasting this out inside. We're going to have to peel the top off of this a little bit. There we go. Now we can see. And if we take this all the way down, this is currently the bottom, so all of this has to be taken out like that. This gets taken out like that. This is a triple here. And this is a double here. This will have to just be singled and then doubled. I'm pretty sure they can build from above, which would solve almost all of our problems. And actually, no, they can't build down through this. All right, well, it was a decent idea while it lasted, which was all of, what, 5 seconds? But I'll go ahead and pop in this little bit here that should help them to be able to get over. And I think I should be able to just get just about all of these from what I have connections to. I think that should be fine. This is already ready to go. I'm trying so hard not to deliberately manipulate the camera in ways that make people seasick, but we'll see how it happens. See, this I already kind of have set up here in a way that makes sense for this specific area. Remember that this is not the same height as what we had going over here. I have this peeled back. This right here is what we're working with for the zipline pylons. So, seeing that, I didn't actually count the distribution of this from side to side to see if that was something that was going to make sense. So, I'm going to have to do that right quick. I think this is actually about as good of a situation as we possibly could have had, except that's at the wrong height. Yeah, we'll just bring this around here, and I can put in a power shaft in the corner. I'd forgotten for a moment that they updated this, so now it just has the smart stuff it can do. So that'll hopefully end up being a pretty simple... Oh, look at that. Look how wonderful that is. Absolutely perfect. Now, before they build that, I do want to check and see if we can have this set up a little bit nicer than how I think it's going to go. Okay, yeah, see, that's not perfect, but I guess it's okay for right now because we do have this ladder in place. I think that is going to be fine. Now, I know this is going to cause some contention when I actually start out doing this. I'm not going to build scaffolding to construct these gravity batteries. One, because I don't want to. Two, because I think it's kind of a pain in the butt, which kind of goes in with point 1 there. But what I can do is I can go ahead and just put the dirt in place. I know I can put the dirt in place, because that's going to be a pretty simple thing to do, and we won't have to worry about too much else. I just need to make sure that these guys can actually get around. And we'll get all this popped in here, bring it this way, so on and so forth. And then after that, if I feel up to the task, I may end up trying to figure something else out to get this actually constructed in a way that's not going to make people, you know, pull their hair out. Or for those of you who are bald, invent some sort of other misery for yourself. But why are these not lined up like... Oh, it's the terrain block that was paused. Okay, well that's interesting. I'm glad I checked, because I was going to just unpause and then probably be confused about why it wasn't getting constructed. All right. Well, that certainly changes this whole thing. I'm gonna have to think about what I've done here. Well, okay, the way I worded that made it sound like I'm putting myself in timeout, which is not something I will be doing. But I digress. Let's get them started on this. I know they can build a certain amount of this without there being any weeping or gnashing of teeth. We're going to see what we end up doing. Now, I know I don't have to blast underneath this terrain for the sake of the gravity batteries, but I do kind of want to keep my options open in terms of what is accessible in case I decide to redo stuff later. Because regardless, there's no reason for land to be down here anyway, and I figure it would probably be better to just, you know, have it accessible in case I change my mind and I want to put windmills or whatever down there. But we can go ahead and start setting off some of this space here. Looks like this is ready to go. I made an error. Let's very quickly save that. I forgot I was going to have to go underneath this thing. Well, I'm glad I caught that, because that was going to be quite the annoying thing to have to fix. Looks like this is ready to go. Yeah, see, that was going to be a very embarrassing thing to have to fix. Not like I've never made mistakes before. That's fine. I'll go ahead and set this off. That. Now you might be asking, why is there bad water going everywhere? Well, we have not yet solved all of our problems. We're just in the process of working on stuff. So I probably, seeing how this is set up, am going to have to either just route this through the back side of this wall anyway and just close this up, or I can say, thank you, autosave. I'm going to just, you know, block this off with a single bit here, and whatever, oh, come on. Whatever is hanging above this is just going to have slightly less reach. I think that's probably going to be the better option long term, but for right now, okay, no, I thought this was I thought this was unpaused. Never mind, that does not seem to be the problem. But yeah, now I'm not quite sure how I'm going to solve the problem of actually building these gravity batteries, because we have all of this up here on top. I could, if I really wanted to be extra, I guess I could just blow up every other piece of land here just so they could build from above. That's probably going to be the cheapest, easiest way to solve this problem that I can think of. So I'm hoping that's going to cover everything. I'm trying to avoid... Oh, actually, this is not even the right row to put that on anyway. There we go. Yeah, I have to have this up here. That makes it a whole lot easier. One of these days, I'm going to actually, you know, assign a button to exploding dynamite, but today is not that day. I know people have been asking me for, at this point, maybe literally years to do it. I always forget. And then when I go to record an episode, I don't want to stop to go set it because that's annoying and it interrupts the flow of what we're trying to do. But I digress. How many times have I said that one? Let's go ahead and get this all situated. And then we are going to have to do something similar on this other side, but we can worry about that when we get there. And for the future of this whole area over here, we know we can't, well, not to say we can't, but we don't have to have this entire thing completed before we set off to actually put power stuff in. Okay, so that's going to help them build all of this dirt in here. That's going to make that go a lot quicker. Should not be a terribly annoying thing to endure. Go ahead and get that taken care of there. And yeah, it looks like they're going to... oh, of course. Oh, of course they can't go sideways on the the dirt without the... Okay. All right. Am I about to do perhaps the most stupid thing I've ever done in this playthrough? I feel like I am. All right, so oh, I know. This is going to cause incredible emotional distress, but you know what? Sometimes that's just life. We're going to blow up not all of this at once, mind you. We're going to place this dynamite, and we're going to replace the dirt that we've already exploded. Actually, I need to make sure they have actually built all of this first. Yeah, actually, okay, good. We'll just go ahead and get that popped in there. And then when we explode these other pieces, then they'll be able to build the gravity batteries. I know it sounds like I'm completely insane, and that may also be true. But I figured that was going to be our path of least resistance, the smallest amount of misery possible involved in getting this project complete. I just have to be careful not to blow up anything I don't want to blow up. So, Once these are all set off, then we will go in and put in all of the gravity batteries. And then I'm going to be very curious what the actual capacity of these things is. I know we have a drought coming in 0.5 days, so this really isn't like the right time to be messing with this. It would have been great to have this in place before the drought, because then we would be able to have an idea of how fast it's going to recharge the batteries. But, you know, it's a long playthrough. It's very rare, not completely something that never happens, but it's very rare. Why is this on the... I must have dragged too much. Anyway, it's very rare that people complain that we're doing too much. So, I don't think we're going to have any issues there. Get the rest of this land put in place. They can't reach either of these? Did I not go in the corner? I must not have. Okay, well now... Ah, okay, okay. I see. I see what's going on here. We're going to have to blow that up, and then they'll be able to take care of that. But why do I always take that down to that? Okay, I need this level. I need this level. Now that that's all built, in we go. Just bring this all the way over here. Guess we're going to have to take care of that as well. And I feel like we're going to have Oh, look how full this got. Okay, no, we need to hit pause because I may have accidentally made this exactly the right size without flooding. Look how close this is. Look how, I mean, it wasn't going to overflow, but it was very close. If it had been one more day, it definitely would have flooded everything. Look how full this is. 26 days. So I suspect that my my sluice gates here are playing some sort of part in helping defend against that, but seeing how much lower the level is here, like the sluice is telling us the downstream depth is 2.65. This upstream depth is definitely more than 2.65. It's probably like 2.95. So we probably need to put in a couple more sluices here just to make sure that we don't completely overflow. But, you know, this is the last of it. There's no more water coming in, so we can just count this as a happy accident and move on with our lives, make sure that we have something else put in place before we get back to needing to fill that up. But it looks like this is going to be ready to go here. Please do not get blown up. Thank you. I am hopeful that they can actually, you know, construct all of this. Alright. I'm going to have to take this pylon out to build this corner piece. We already knew that was going to be a thing. But now, once they have these two terrain blocks in place, then I will unpause this gravity battery. It looks like that's already fine anyway. Then I'll put in the terrain above this stuff. Some of this I actually can already go ahead and do. Alright, I gotta make sure I have this turned around so I don't completely destroy myself here. Did they already have those built? They do, they do, they do. See, these are at 18,000. Okay, so 18,000 isn't nearly as desirable as 26, but there's going to be a lot of these things, and they're going to be completely hidden, which means it's going to look nice, which I think personally is important to a certain degree. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm an absolute unyielding champion for aesthetic sensibilities, but you get the idea. Put those back in place there. And then I will just have to get rid of this one in the corner. And I believe everything else should be good to go. Yeah, that's the only corner piece that needs to get put in. And then they haven't finished with this, but that's because they can't. Because, oh, did I do a stupid? I think I did. Well, this is the original bits that I was going to be putting in anyway. So let's take that out. And then I will just turn these 90 degrees. It is the correct height, right? And we might have to do a little bit of shenanigans to get the rest of these built, but I think it's going to be okay. Let's just get this one last piece in there, and that should be fine. We also have to have... Yeah, see, all the excess clean water is still coming through here. Down to 2.5, which that's how I had it set up, and that's totally fine. 25 days left, we have full water storage. I'm just aggressively not concerned about having enough water here. Oh, this is just open period point blank. Oh, so it's going to go down to 2. Huh. Or I guess rather it'll go down to this exact depth of these things, not 2, it's like 2.6 something. But it'll tell me. It looks like it's about to shut off right now, so that is A-okay. I don't know why I can't just remember what I had previously done, but I got a lot of got a lot of series going on. It's honestly kind of hard to keep up with. So go ahead and get that out now that I can. Take a look-see at how... Yeah, okay. I was kind of afraid that was going to be a thing. I think I can take these 2 out without disrupting the rest of the land here. It should, being the operative term, be okay. I just need to get this bit in the corner done. It looks like this is just about finished, so I guess I could unpause that. And then unpause those. Get the rest of these popped back in, because this is looking pretty spiffy here. And then we just have to solve the problem of... Oh, look how perfect this is. Look how perfect this is. Just solve the problem of getting stuff around this way. Now, we don't have to put more land here. This is still reservoir, and that's totally fine. I am perfectly happy leaving this as reservoir and just kind of covering it up with the platforms, and then building a wall on top of that. All that being said, we do have the ability here to go ahead and blast some of this out. This would be a very simple, pretty easy project. Just get that taken there, get that taken there, and get that taken there. And then this side over here is not going to be quite as simple, but I think we can make it work. The random stairs here, that's probably related to what I was just randomly deleting. I cannot figure out where I would have deleted a tank. I legitimately cannot figure it out. And I don't think anyone gave timestamps in the comments either. So I don't know where to check in the video. If you did and I missed it, then sorry. But please let me know where I deleted the tank, because I don't I don't know what I did. I have no way of knowing. But I digress. We do need to actually get this completed here so we can have a successful episode. Okay, good. Nothing got blown up that wasn't supposed to be blown up. Good work, everybody, I say to myself. Is this... Okay, they still haven't finished those yet, so I guess that's... Oh, come on. There we go. That is put in place there. Then I will go ahead and pop that back where it was. And don't forget, we still have to hook these up with some stations going this way. Well, I guess we don't technically have to. We have the opportunity to. But we'll do what we have to do to make that happen. Okay, so what's still lacking materials here? Gears and planks. Oh, it doesn't have enough gears. Why did the gear consumption go up so much? Like, I feel like 8 of these was plenty. They're not being used by the mine, right? I'm pretty sure they're not. No, it's just treated planks. We have plenty of regular planks. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things that kind of lagged behind a little bit. Maybe we don't need to have 400 bots. We probably would be fine without 400, but that's what we did, so I guess we're just going to stay with that. So one more piece here, and then... Man, I guess we're going to have to get some beavers down in this mess here. Yeah, I'm going to have to get down. Is there going to be any way for me to get around this? Probably not. Because I have a ladder here. I need them to be able to put this bit in place, and we already know they can't build down through dirt. So if we were to just put in a single suspension bridge there, but they can't reach it. I guess that shouldn't be the main concern, because I can always just, you know, pop in a single piece of dirt in a place that they could actually, you know, access. And by single, I mean 2, because I'm definitely going to have 2. Then just pop over this way. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when I try to think too hard and then my brain combusts. This is not staying. Don't worry. It's not going to stay like that. I think they should be able to, oh, no. See, I'm committing crimes again. We're making ugly things just to solve very simple problems. That's not, not really what you want to see. Not what you want to see, folks. I guess this is going to be easy enough to clean up later anyway, so who cares? We'll just get these spaced out as best as we can. Oh, see, that's not going to play nice. That's not going to play nice. So I have to put that there, and I have to put that there. I think that's going to be the easiest way to accomplish this. So it's going to be a 5. That doesn't have to be a 5. It could be a 4. Yeah, see, that'll allow them access to most of this. And in fact, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. I can just, first of all, make sure they put the dynamite in so that I don't have to delete this to get that in place afterwards. And then I guess we'll see what happens. Why am I taking all this effort to just get rid of a couple blocks? Well, hopefully you understand that. Because I'm not sure I can accurately articulate. But we need to have more capacity anyway. You know, we like things to be thorough, if potentially frustratingly so. I think that should allow them to take care of most of that. Let's take another look here. Did we get all these put in place? It looks like we did. Yeah, okay. Now I can finally put all this dirt back in place. We don't have to worry about that looking completely stupid anymore. Just slightly stupid. Alright, so that'll solve that problem there. This side is taken care of. And, you know, I think we can probably pretty safely get rid of all of this nonsense here. That's not going to be necessary. I love being able to click one thing and all of this goes away. That is an absolutely glorious thing. I am so glad they did that. Solved so many problems. Alright, how are we looking here? This one's next. Alright. I guess the other kind of benefit of this is now they have access from both sides to get to all this mess. Alright, did they get that one in? Good. Good, 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 good. Let's go ahead and put in the last of these 6x here. That, if I am correct, will allow them to reach all but a single piece of dynamite. So you know what that means? It means, yes, I'm going to put another piece of dirt. One last piece of dirt. That should allow them to do everything else that they've got to do, and we'll come back and check on that a little bit later. I still have paused over here all of these things because I was concerned about how they're going to be constructed, so I guess we'll just have to pop that in there. I will build from, that's the wrong category of items, build from this side one piece at a time. And I guess I have to have them have access to this as well, so we'll go ahead and bring that out. This way we'll have to delete all those, but that's not going to be a problem. I guess I do need to have this connected over here as well. That'll give them a little bit of an opportunity to get this cleaned up. I do need to enclose this. I guess that's going to be something I gotta figure out. Cause I don't want to do anything that is going to be completely stupid if I can avoid it. So I don't, people had ideas. I'm assuming some of them were talking about this, and some of them were talking about this mess over here with the water wheels. People wanted to see it go straight and then completely off the map. So if you're talking about right here, this could, you know, completely go through here. I kind of like it going off like inside the wall, but I'm not really sure what the merit of changing this would be at this point in time. It seems to be perfectly cromulent, to borrow a term from our friends on the other side of the Atlantic. Or is that an Australian term? I feel like I've heard it in British English, but Australian English is like related to British. I don't know. I'm gonna stop before I get too deep into the language mines, and then someone who's, you know, actually knowledgeable about this says, "Well, okay, well, you're actually wrong." That's fine. Let's go ahead and blow this up. Isn't that so much better? Isn't that so much better? I love it. Now I get to blow all the land up, too. after we get all this other stuff taken care of. Now, I did say I didn't want to cover up the land here. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put in overhangs. Remember, we have a lot of metal. Got 2100, and we can use it, and then we can just waterproof it. I don't think it's really going to be an issue, but we can. So, go ahead and just to get all of this blown up here, and we just have to figure out exactly how this is going to work. I put a triple, and then a triple, and then, oh, that's actually going to be incredibly quick. I'm not going to bother creating a weird skeleton framework or anything inside of this. I'm just gonna do it. So that'll be 5 wide there, and then this will have to be 6x1s going this way, which for the purposes of planning, I will just go ahead and pop this here. I'm sure there's probably a slightly better way to do this that might be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I regret to inform you I will not be doing that. Well, I don't regret it that much, but just go ahead and get that popped in. That's going to be not entirely straightforward for them to build, but I think if they can come in from the top side for these, then we can stand a chance of that being, you know, kind of acceptable. I think it'll work. Remember, I'm putting the dirt for the castle walls on top of this, so we're creating kind of a faux reservoir kind of deal going on. Hopefully it makes sense when I actually get around to it. Alright, so that is going to be gone. That is going to be gone. Then I can come back with these 6 spies. And that then will have... Wait a second. Wait a second. I messed up. That's never happened. See, I hadn't considered, you know, the gravity batteries need to go down. I was just so focused on keeping the channel clean here. So, new idea. This is gravity batteries, and then inside of this, we can maybe try windmills. Oh, nope, that's too tall. Now, down here would work, but the height would be all wrong. Somebody actually did the math in the comments on the height distribution. Actually, I'm not sure if it was Discord or the comments, but somebody had actually done that. And the gist of it was I could stack these too high. It might be a little ugly, but we do know that that will work, because I do trust you guys in your math skills a lot more than I trust mine. But now... See, now I have a problem, and that's... I can't have these in the middle because that's where the gravity batteries have to go. So if I were to just not do these, unfortunately, that's the only the only one they can build. It's the only one they can build. Oh no. Well, regardless, there's still some other stuff we can take care of. I'm still going to put this in. It's going to be just fine like this, and I'm still going to have the wall here, but it's going to just end up being a little bit stupid. That's fine. That's fine. So, I will have to blow up those 2 pieces and this piece precisely to do that, and then I guess, since this is the way this is configured here, it's probably going to be easiest for me to just put in a set of ladders here, and that just be what it's going to be. What a shame. It was going to be such a good idea. Oh, it's going to be such a good idea. Well, I can just pop these platforms in here so they can walk across and get the rest of this taken care of, and that will kind of fix what we have going on. It is what it is. We're just trying our best here. That's all we can ask. I should also note that this is the first time I'm ever trying anything like this, and I really do not have the time to spend 50 hours in a testing lab every week because I am an actual person with an actual array of responsibilities that do not include making YouTube content. But that's beside the point. I'm just having fun, and I hope you are too. If you're not, then that's fine. You're always free to do what makes the most sense for you. Never going to get mad at you if you decide you don't want to, watch these or anything. But I do hope it is at least informative, even if it's just a, hey, don't do this. Not so much a how to actually accomplish something productive. It takes all kinds. Whether or not the kinds that it takes are something that I can actually, be capable of doing to a certain degree of competency is a question I am not prepared to answer. Well, that's fine. We are going to have to get this connected on both sides here, and I guess I probably should check and see what the height is. Is this 7? It is. I feel like we already did this and I just forgot. This is 6, so one more here would be fine. See, this is 11. See, it's a shame that this is so different from the levels that I'm using over here, because I feel like it would be so easy to just completely have this all taken care of without any worries whatsoever. But it's not to be. It's not to be. We're going to do our best, though. I know I can do this. I can definitely put that in, and I can start the process of making sure that this is at least somewhat usable here. It's just a thing. And now I kind of want to... I want to come in here and get these trees out of the way. Yeah. We got time. We have the ability. And I suppose it would not be too much of an ask to just go ahead and get this whole thing situated here. That would have to be... Well, actually, this isn't necessarily bad to have this like this, but I guess I will I'll just go ahead and try to clear it. Just for the sake of preserving the ideas that we got here. Put in a staircase. And then I think I can get away with doing that nonsense. So that's going to be a triple. This is going to have to be a double on top of that. And then the rest of this is just going to have to get actually built at some point. Well, I know I can do different things in different bits and pieces. Try and get everything accomplished as best as I can. That's good to go there. This can go away here. So, it's going to seem like a stupid idea. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to blast not around the water sources. That's always a bad idea. But I'm going to blast this down to be the same level as this mess, and then the middle just gets to go down all the way. We're going to have to build around this little escape sluice thing. We can slightly redo this. But I want it to be able to incorporate stuff appropriately. If I'm even making sense, I don't know. But that's the way this goes. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes people ask, hey, what's wrong with that dude? And then nobody knows the answer to it. But go ahead and get that done. See, that's just, it's so much easier doing it this way. It really is. So that now gets to be just blasted right out. Same difference as here. And then we'll just have our, oh, you know what? I forgot I didn't have access to that. We'll just pop that in there. It should be nice and easy. How are we looking on this bit here? Okay, ready to get those built. Ready to put another one in here. And then very, very soon we'll be able to get the rest of these popped in as well. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do the rest of this. Oh, it's already been 40 minutes. Uh-oh. No meaningful progress has occurred. Are they actually building this? They can't. Too far from... Oh, okay. All right. That's my fault. It's my fault. I didn't have the paths connected. Just get that taken care of. See, this is going to end up being covered here, and that's fine. That was always going to be okay. I have that inset. Yeah, that's fine. That's going to have to be that way. I need this to be basically completely covered, which should be okay. Should be a pretty simple... Oh, I can't go directly over it? Or is that just one of those... Oh, no, I super can. I just haven't... I haven't applied this correctly. I always knew it was possible. It just didn't seem like it wanted to play nice with me. There we go. So this has to be actual land if we're going to follow the same thing that we've already been doing. So, I guess I can keep this structure in place here. I just have to build on top of it. That's probably going to be the easiest thing to do. Still working on this. Okay. Is this a double? It doesn't really matter. It can't blow up any lower than that anyway. Just get that in place. I don't think they can reach over here. So let's give them a little bit of help there. Should, hopefully, be somewhat possible for us to accomplish something else here. Alright. This piece is just about done. Just needs some more gears. Oh, that's why. That's why. All the gravity batteries in building are sucking up all the gears. I don't know why that was surprising. Let's put that one in there. Yeah, we might have to actually hold off on the gravity battery making to another substantial degree here. Well, the windmills, they're not powering everything, but they are powering enough. Tell you what I can do is I can save a good bit of power by shutting off all of these dirt excavators. That's another 800 back in our pockets here. Oh, and now, of course, the windmills decide to go into turbo drive. That's fine, too. Let's get these popped in here. That popped in there. This is ready to go. That means that can go away. This being a triple, unfortunately, means we're going to have to blast twice. But, again, that is totally okay. That was surprisingly not as painful as I thought it would be. And that's going to go that same direction there. I'm not going to bother building anything underneath it, because that's not really necessary. But this bit in the middle here definitely still has to get blasted out, just for the sake of, gravity batteries actually working. And then at the point where they reach right around here, it's going to be easiest to just directly integrate into these smelters. And then that's going to be that. So that's probably what I should be focusing on, is getting this outside ring taken care of and then building up into here, which for the time being, since I don't really have any other direct opportunities to integrate here. Oh, did somebody? No, somebody did not get stuck. I'm going to go ahead and just build that out there. And as soon as these terrain blocks can get put in, then I guess that's going to have to be what that's going to be. Does it say it's... Oh, okay, it's because this one hasn't been built. I know they had range to build this here. So, we'll take this back out here. This is ready to go. They have direct... No, they do not have direct access. There's no stairs here. So I'm trying to get them to actually be able to build this. I think... Yeah, I'm going to have to blast this top bit out again. I know that's everybody's least favorite thing to watch, but... Actually, that's not true. Though probably would be attempting to waterfold would be people's least favorite attempts. But this is ready to go here. Alright. Getting this taken care of is going to help us out tremendously, because then I can come in and build the rest of this nonsense. It's not all going to be done today, if you hadn't already guessed, by it being 45 minutes into the episode and us still not being that close to getting considerable progress accomplished. I think the easiest thing for me to do here is just going to be to get that connected there. I got to be careful about tunneling underneath this. So that's going to be a hot button thing. So that's 9. This is 7, which means I can go up a little bit. I'm not gonna chance it. What I'm gonna do, because we're obviously not gonna be able to put anything underneath these anyway, I'm going to just make this here, and this here into tunnels directly through this. And then that'll just be power shafts. I think that's going to be the simplest way to do it without being completely stupid. I don't know that they're going to be able to actually have meaningful access to most of this without me babysitting, but we'll see what happens. Did they actually get this taken care of? They did. Good. That's done there. Please nobody get blown up. Alright, that works. We are going to have to remove this at some point. But now we know what we have access to here. And I believe I can go ahead and I can pop that in. And then we can do our little math here. So that right there, that is the distance we want. So this will end up being there and there. There and there. 6 by 1, 6 by 1. Go the other way as well. And then, oh, I forgot. I forgot again. There we go. So if I have the ability to get these guys across here meaningfully, so that they can actually, you know, construct this stuff, then it's probably something I should be doing, but... Alright, that will solve that problem, hopefully, in a meaningful way. What's our distance here? 6. Oh, you know what? That's actually just about perfect. Let's go ahead and just bring that along that side, and then I can just come in with that mess there and directly connect. In fact, I should have had this instead of being terrain. I should have had that be one of the other things there. All right, how are we looking here? We made any progress? I guess I have to peel this back. Oh, okay. Actually, a pretty nice amount of progress there. I know I'm gonna have to take these paths out to put the power shafts in place, but that's you know, that's just how it goes. Get the rest of this popped in here. That should work totally fine. Let those guys do what they gotta do. How are we looking over here? Go ahead and get this taken care of. On the inside, that did delete another piece of dirt, but I don't think anyone's going to be crying about that. And now I have to do my solid power shafts and my regular power shafts. That should, okay, yeah, that's going to be easily buildable. Then that, oh, that's the wrong button. Yeah, that'll get very nicely built to there. And then I think they can build all of this without somebody getting silly-billied, which would be absolutely tremendous. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? We have the opportunity to do amazing things without nonsense. Or I guess with minimal quantities of nonsense. Alright. Now, we've had a chance for a little bit of these gears to come back, but it's, you know, it's still not really enough. Unfortunately, that's going to be a tremendous pain for us to try and deal with here. So we're gonna have to build from. We can't really build from both sides, can we? Just have to decide how many of these gravity batteries I can actually build. Oh no, they're 40 gears apiece. Yikes. Okay, well, this is gonna be a fun problem to try and solve. It's gonna be a fun problem to try and solve. I'm going to have to let's go to our, oh, thank you, lag, bot part factories. At risk of possibly causing a cataclysm later on down the line, I'm going to pause all 6 of these so we can keep accumulating the parts that they're using. I know that's going to kick some gears back out. We can't forget to turn these back on, but we can run for a little while without those and it not be a huge deal. Oh, of course this isn't accessible. I forgot. Alright, well, easiest way for us to solve that problem is just to blast that out. except I will get rid of that from consideration there. Let's get this connected this way. It should have probably been done from the start. Alright, how are we doing on our connections here? Good. It's completely done. Alright, now I have to figure out exactly how this is going to work here. I'm going to... oh, man. I'm going to have to send some beavers down here to actually build this. Or what I do is I just do this exact same thing I did before, and then we just deal with it. Alright, so that can go down that way. How far down are we there? That's 2. Okay. So that gets the double dynamites, and then what I can do here is I can just go ahead and blast this single piece out, because for right now that's what we have to do. And then I can just have power shafts go up to here. That's going to be the easiest way to get this done. Not necessarily going to be the fastest way to get it done, but it is going to be the easiest way to get it done. Get that taken care of there. And see, this would just be so much easier if I could just get all the way in from above. But you know that's not how this is allowed to work. It is unfortunately an ordeal at all times. Alright, so that is ready to get blasted. Please do not get exploded, thank you. And they can build that. And then I'm not going to put gravity batteries basically anywhere that I don't have to get that taken care of. We'll have to come back and take a look at that. I think, based on how this is right here, I can probably justify just having this outside bit put in place. I probably shouldn't have built these, but you know how it goes. I have all of these connected, so what's going to make the most sense for right now is going to be to build that, and then we're going to connect these through here once the rest of this is put in place. And I think what's going to happen for that to be a viable thing for us to do is we're going to have to time-lapse this. But I'm not exactly sure what the best option is going to be for that. People have very clearly expressed a lack of approval for the time lapses that jump around all over the place. So I unfortunately think that I'm going to have to do a little bit of that. I'm going to try to minimize it so it doesn't look quite as ridiculous, but that's just the way this stuff goes, folks. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to start putting some other pieces down because it's going to take a little bit of time. And I'm not going to make you sit through the rest of that. So, we'll see on the other side. Hopefully everything's going to get connected nicely. If not, then, well, I don't know. Maybe it'll be entertaining, but we'll see. Alright, so, the dawn of day 2, cycle 48. Hopefully, you're able to watch that without any pain and suffering. We've got all of these gravity batteries hooked into our power network. It's rotating. We got a total power supply of almost 11,000, which is incredible work. Everything is actually connected here, including this T-junction through this way. We've got power shaft through this tunnel here, so all we have to do is connect these two things here, and that shouldn't be too terribly complicated to accomplish. So, you know, not exactly as much as I wanted to get done in this episode, but a very necessary step to take as we continue working on completely integrating the wall into everything we've been working on. And obviously there's still some stuff to do here. You also probably noticed that I put in these 2 dam pieces here to act as a little bit of an overflow for this reservoir, which is most certainly going to fill up here. And that, of course, when that activates, will go right along through here and then out that part of the map right there. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue, but we are also going to have to put some sort of overflow somewhere else. And I think what's going to make the most sense is for us to do one right here, because that will just go straight into the evacuation channel. So, like I said, it's just a real simple thing. Just put a dam piece right here. We already have this purpose-built kind of notch in the wall. Hey, this never got built. That's a little irritating. Let's fix that. Just give them a little bit of help there. I think they should still be able to reach this. And, you know, three dams worth of outflow probably isn't enough, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think that will be serviceable for what we're trying to do. And then, of course, we're going to have to put something else over here to help keep that in check. I guess, you know, I said I was going to put more sluices in, so we might as well, if we have to, go ahead and put those in. All right, now let's check on this. I do have to babysit this individual power shafts one at a time. So for those of you who have already left comments saying that that was a very stupid way to do that, I agree. However, I don't know how else I would have accomplished it short of building a whole bunch of scaffolding that would have just wasted a tremendous amount of time. So, I mean, I time-lapsed all of it. For you, it was less than, what, 30 seconds, so I guess that's fine. Hopefully, that was like 30, 45 minutes in real life to get that accomplished. But it's all connected, and we are going to replace a bunch of these with gravity batteries when the time comes. But I figured it would probably be easier, faster, so on and so forth, to just build it with power shafts and get everything else figured out. I did turn the bot part factories back on, and I probably should have done it sooner. But we do have a little bit of a bot vacancy issue. It's being rectified, though, and I guess I probably should have these prioritized. I don't actually have those prioritized. I haven't checked the factories either. See, it's one of those things I just kind of don't think about. Yeah, these aren't even prioritized. What am I doing, man? What am I doing? There we go. Even though we have 60 vacancies right now, most of those are builders or haulers on things that are deprioritized. It's totally fine. Nothing of industrial consequence is actually suffering as a result of that. So we've just got a couple pieces of power shaft left. This is all the way down to the bottom of the map, so I could... Why is that one set up like that? Why is that set up... Why I didn't... Okay. So, whatever reason why that has a power shaft in it, I'm not... Wait a second. Hold on. This is rotating clockwise, right here. It's turning that little gear, which means this is rotating clockwise from this perspective. Is it smart enough now to know shaft rotation and have it completely lined up? Because this is rotating clockwise, that's counterclockwise here. That's also... Wait a second, hold on. So that's going clockwise, which turns this one counterclockwise, anti-clockwise. Which I would have thought would have turned this one clockwise, but I guess not because of the way these gears are set up. It's okay, so this is not how I'm used to these looking. I guess they just kind of flipped the orientation of stuff. Well, I guess it's probably keeping track of actual shaft rotation now, which is a pretty cool feature, but I don't know why it would have inserted that there. When I connect it, is that going to get fixed? Because this is to go into the side of this thing. That's rotating from the perspective of the building counterclockwise, and then that's rotating that clockwise. Very strange. You know, this is probably in a patch notes, and I just forgot that I read about it, but still interesting to think about. Got this last piece now. Nope, that's proven false, because these are these are now rotating completely opposite directions despite being connected. Oh, can you imagine the rotational stress on these? Like, just raw torque. Okay, now it's kind of fixed. But now I have these two next. Why is it like this? Anyway, regardless, we now have a power supply of almost 15,000. Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. I love that. I love that for us. So now, wait, this is still discharging. How is that possible? Wait a second. Is this not connected anymore? No. That doesn't make any sense. Oh no, it is connected. It's just not making enough. Wait, how is that possible? I have power here. I have power. Oh, okay. The windmills aren't turning, and we have a tremendous amount of consumption. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna find out if our overflow works. But yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and call it here, folks. We do have everything connected. It is ugly. Yes, it is very ugly. But it works. And I think we can be pretty proud of that. So, as the sun rises on day 5, we're going to go ahead and do our end of episode fun. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. I know progress might be a little slower than you prefer, and a lot slower than some of you prefer for sure. But I'm having a whole lot of fun, and I hope you're enjoying the process as well. We are getting pretty close to the end of this series, in theory. I did say I would like to have this wrapped up by the time Update 7 comes out on the main release branch, which is in under 2 weeks, so that's very exciting. And I'm going to see. I'm not going to rush it. I'm not gonna cut it off early if it doesn't have to be cut off early. But as far as I can think, I don't think there's any more enormous projects left to finish besides closing in the castle wall on that fourth side that we talked about, building the inner keep thing, and then getting the rest of these gravity batteries and all that other stuff hooked up. So in my mind's eye, that could be done in about 4 or 5 more episodes. This is episode 36, so 4 more after this would put us at 40, and then a few more past that would make this one of the longer series we've ever done. So, as always, open to ideas. If you have anything you'd like to see done before the series is over, then if it's possible for us to do it, then I'll make an effort to do it, as long as it's not going to be something that would take, I don't know, like 10 episodes to do or something. That's probably not realistically going to happen. But I really like how this is coming together, and I think we could do a whole lot more neat stuff in the same kind of vein as what we've been doing, and maybe a couple fun surprises along the way as we approach the end of this one. But like I said, Beard Boosters, cannot do it without you. Really appreciate the support that you give to the channel and to me personally to make it possible to keep doing this and start to invest some more time in other fun stuff that I think you guys are going to like as well. But like I said, that's all the time we got. Have a fantastic rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back again very soon for more beavers. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.